Alright guys, we're going to get back on the 55 here. We finally got the new motor for it, so we're going to start going back together with it. Here's the motor for it. He was debating which way to go, a 383 or a 355, and he decided to go ahead and go with a 355, which is what this is. It's got old school double hump heads on it, some roller rockers. I have no idea what cam. It's either stock or probably a mild one. I doubt it's anything radical. It's got 2 4s on it. Don't know if it's 2 or 4 bolt main, but it'll look good down in there and it should run pretty good, so that's all he wants. And for those of you that are new here, we're going with that motor and a m20 muncie 4-speed. I don't remember what year it was, but it's just m20 muncie 4-speed in this car. It's all dusty right now. It's been sitting in here for quite a while. It's a really nice, solid car. Still needs the interior done. But I'm still waiting for paint to dry. It's pretty late in the day, so I'll probably let it dry all night, and then tomorrow we'll try to throw it down in there. Aaron, what are we doing? Okay, well. I'm gonna have to cut these mounts off and scoot them forward up here. A little further than that, actually, because the mount won't quite go. That should be pretty simple though, but it's in and pretty close where it needs to be. All right, we got it sitting down in here. Transmission's bolted in. I still got to bolt it all down for good, but it's got the bolts in it. He's got these long tube headers for it. I'm going to go ahead and see if they'll even work. No idea if they'll clear it or not, but we're going to find out. But yeah. Alright, we got them on. Just bolted on 2 bolts to see how they fit. It's barely hitting that bolt right there, and then See that? The round part on that is hitting the header on the back side. It's barely hitting it, so I think we'll be able to just put a little dent right there and right there to make it clear on this side. And on this side, it's just barely hitting the gearbox right there. So I think we could put a small dent on each side and then it should fit perfect. Alright, I got the cross member bolted in. I went ahead and just bolted it to the frame. I still got to buy shorter bolts for it, but it's in. Clearance on the oil pan of this one. Not a lot either. Alright, I got the headers bolted on permanently. I had to beat them up a little more than I wanted to. I hate beating headers, but we had to make them fit. But they're in there now and bolted on for good. The oil pan, let me go underneath to show you that. The other oil pan ended up being about 2 inches longer. I didn't realize that it was a bigger pan until I started comparing. And the way the steering works on these, it goes back. So I was hitting that oil pan really hard. I even tried to beat on it, you can see it right there, and it just would not clear. So I found another oil pan, I threw it on there, and now it clears perfectly fine. The headers, I ended up having to cut the flange off, both of them, for them to clear because it was so close to the frame, which ain't no big deal. Our exhaust guy welded right onto that. But now the oil pan situation's figured out and the headers are on, we can start going back together with all the little stuff. I did get the cross member bolted all the way in permanently. I still got to measure and try to find a drive shaft for it. But it's permanently bolted down in there and the headers are on. I did have to massage it right there around the steering arm, the pitman arm up there. But now that all that is done, I'm going to get the distributor drop down in it, plugs in it, oil, the basics to try to get it fired up. I'll hot wire it to start it for the first time. And then of course, all the little stuff after that. I'm not going to record all the little stuff as I do it because I'm kind of off and on working on the car. And it's very time consuming just figuring out the little stuff and finding the little stuff to do it. So I'll just give updates as I go, as I finish each thing. I got a fuel pump. Like I said, I'll just do several different things, give an update, and then video the next thing as I can. Alright, I got the fuel pump on. I got the wire or plugs all in it. Got the distributor stab down in it. I'm going to start wiring it up, and then I got a water pump painted, ready to go. I got the power steering pump ready to put on. I did go find a dipstick for it too. But yeah, I'm going to start getting some of the front accessories on and then get oil in it, and we'll try to fire it up, hopefully today. Together enough to go ahead and fire it up. Got the plug wires all on, starter on, hot wired, oil pressure gauge. I got the fuel line ran down to a bucket down there. We're going to crank it over, build a little oil pressure, then try to fire it up, get the timing somewhat close, and let it run for 30 seconds to a minute or so we can hear it run. Alright, first fire up, we're going to crank it over for a minute and build some oil pressure. Go ahead. It ain't picking up fuel yet. Alright, I got fuel in it and we're going to attempt to start it again. Go ahead. Good. Good. Alright, I got the alternator bracket on and the new alternator, the water pump. I went to go put the power steering pump I have on it, or had on. It's like a really low mount one. Anyway, it hits the frame all right here. So we're going to have to wait on that and probably order a higher mount power steering bracket unless I can find one. We have a few different things, so I'm going to look for that and see what I can find. But yeah, that's kind of hold up on that until I find that. I still got to find the two pulleys for the crank and the water pump. Find some of those, paint them up, make sure they're going to work. I still have to run a new fuel line. That's the old fuel line right there. I'm going to get rid of all that. They just ran it down the frame. Looks horrible. I got some new fuel line I'm going to run from front to back. And then rubber. I do have a brand new fuel tank right there. It's going to go in it. So the whole fuel system is going to be brand new. And then we have a brand new steering column, which is right there. Going to go in it, new brake booster, master cylinder, all that. I do have to figure out the whole Z-bar situation still. That's going to be a pain to figure out. Right there is the old ball. That's a truck bell housing. So we probably won't use that at all. It'll be up here. So I'm going to have to find all those pieces and try to piece something together and hopefully get it to work. I've never done one on one of these cars, so I'm going to have to figure it out. And of course, wiring. I got to do a linkage. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it right now. It's making real slow progress, but we're making progress. We did get it running, so that's a huge plus. Makes us feel a lot better. And we'll probably get on it a lot more now to get it finished. Aaron, what are you working on? What are you working on, Aaron? He's putting the fuel tank in right now. Filler neck. He's got it up in there, straps on it. He's fixing to tighten them down. Still gotta see it, get a rubber or figure out exactly how that mounts together. And then he's gonna start running fuel line down the frame. Here's what we're going to do for the fuel line down the side of the frame. It's aluminum line. I did it on my old 68. We're just going to run it. I'll show you guys. They had the old one ran all down, looped around, however, from the tank up. We're gonna rerun it on the outside of the frame, so it's away from the exhaust, and then we'll put some of those P-clamps on it to hold it. But we'll run it all the way down, like they did this one, but a little better. All up to the front, to the fuel pump, and then we'll put rubber from the line to the pump, and then rubber from the fuel tank to the pump, or to the line as well. We also found a drive shaft. I'm gonna have to change the yoke on it because it's got a full drive style yoke on it. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna get new U-joints, and I'm gonna have to get a conversion joint on that end because I think this is the 1330 style. I think. And this car is probably a 1310. Like I said, I gotta measure it all and figure it out for sure. But most likely it's a 1310. So it's a pretty simple, easy fix. I'm still trying to find a power steering pump and bracket. I do have the lower pulley. I got to clean up paint. I still got to find the upper pulley. And then belts. That'll be pretty simple. Once I find the pulleys. The lower radiator hose is on. I got to hose clamp it still. I got to get hose clamps and then clamp it. But we're coming along slowly with it. Slowly but surely. Here is a brake booster, a new one. He's got two of them here. I'm not sure which one we'll go with. This one's quite a bit bigger. Whichever one fits best, we'll use it. And then he has this box. Yeah, brand new. One of those aluminum, well, stainless steel ones. Master cylinder. That'll be going on there. With whichever booster we decide to go with. And then the brake lines that are on this thing are pretty rusty. He has a whole brake line kit here. So we'll probably run new brake lines front to back, put P-clamps on it and redo it all right. Because they have it all just looped up however and ran. Aaron actually pulled on one on the back of the car and broke it. So I'm not even going to mess with all that. I'm going to rerun it, make it nice, and do it right. And then right here we have two Z-bars. This one's been cut on and made work before. And this one, I think I'm gonna have to use this one and modify it some more because the width of it between the block and the frame. So I've still got to figure all this out. He's got all the little clips and stuff. But I'll figure all that out. That's gonna be a very time consuming thing to figure out and find the rest of the parts I need for it. The distributor he had, I don't remember if I told you guys this, but the distributor he had for the 409 would not fit in the 350 like I thought it would have. So he went ahead. Luckily, a full-size HEI dropped right down in there and missed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I went and looked at all of our power steering pumps, and the ones we have use this bolt here and then one in the head right here. We can't do that because we don't have holes. So those ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to order one online, and hopefully it's the right one. One I found online is about a mid mount. So that should do it. This one here I had was really low, like really low. So lower than the block even, which is perfect in a truck, but not one of these. Yeah, I'm gonna get that ordered and it'll be here when it gets here. Aaron got the tank bolted fully in, and then he figured out the filler neck thing. These just take an O-ring in there apparently, which is new to us. We've never messed with one of these yet. But he also got the fuel line ran completely. We got fuel in it, running off the tank now. But he went ahead and P-clamped it and bent it around. Looks a lot better than what it was, but yeah, we just slipped the mufflers on it to hear it run, or to quiet it down when we ran it. But yeah, it's running off the fuel system now, or fuel tank now. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we ran a new brake line from the back all the way up here to the front. That was the only part that was bad. I started looking at all of it, and they already ran it new on the rear end and up here. So it was all good. It was just that one piece. And apparently they had welded on it, and that's what put a hole in it. And when Aaron pulled on it, it come apart all the way. So we just fixed that, and we're gonna go ahead and clean everything else up and rerun it. And same thing with all this up here. I'll just rebend it around and make it look nice. And then we gotta order a rag joint still to get the column all the way in, and a clutch rod from the clutch pedal out. So I have to get both of those. I did find an upper pulley. Aaron got the lower radiator hose all the way on. Aaron also got the battery box mounted and cables made. He's got the starter wire hooked up. So it turns over by the key now. But we still got to go through all this wiring here to figure out exactly which is which. So I'm going to go to the alternator and we're trying to figure out the rest of them. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We're kind of just waiting on parts now to come in. I still got to cut a bigger hole for the shifter. I didn't want to cut it no bigger than I have to, so I cut it enough to get it in. But now I'll start playing with it until I get it big enough where it just clears. This steering column came with this type of bracket, so you get rid of the old clamp style one. So that's making it a little easier. We're just waiting on that to put the steering column in to get the rag joint. But when that gets here, the steering column will be in. I still got to find a water neck that's kind of straight and make a hose straight down. Still got to do the throttle linkage. Just a lot of little stuff we still got to do, a lot of very time consuming stuff. So I'm not going to record every bit of it. I'll just kind of give updates like I did in this video of what we got done. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. We're just waiting on a lot of little stuff now and little parts and figuring out a lot of the little stuff. But the biggest majority of it is done. But anyway, that's going to be all for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.